Hey guys, Julie here again. Like I said, I'm trying really hard to be good at coming on here and sharing with you guys. Yesterday, I painted this really cute He Lives Easter cross. It's hard to see, but I added some rose gold. I don't know if you guys can see. Oops, the other way. There you go. See how that a little bit of metallic added just a little bit. And the letters, I used some wood glue to glue on the 3D pieces, the He Lives, and then the flower and leaves. So if you see a little bit of white, that's just the glue. But how pretty is that? And it has, like I said, it has that 3D piece, so it just stands out and pops. But anyways, I wanted to show you what that looked like painted. So that's what I painted yesterday. So that's one of the new designs that I have to offer. Let's see if I can set it aside without dropping it. And then so today I wanted to come on here and paint this adorable welcome door hanger. It doesn't have to be hung. It can look really cute like in a mud room or here in Montana we have mud rooms if you're fancy. You have a foyer or a foyer, little front entryway. But anyways, I am so excited to paint this. When I got the sample pack that had all of the new designs that I shared with you guys yesterday, it this was one of my favorites. So I wanted to jump on here and I kind of have a game plan, but if you guys have feedback, let me know. If you think I should do different colors, what I'm thinking is I'm going to paint the background black. So this part, and this part. And then I'm going to paint the two lines and the word welcome in like a teal. And then I was going to do pink and yellow and orange for the flowers. So let me know if you think that sounds cool, or if maybe I should do the word welcome in white, so it'll be different than the line. So give me some feedback. Let me know what you think of that idea. So I'm going to go ahead and get started painting these. Kind of put those to the side. Get some of my paint and get going. I am so excited today because it is an absolutely beautiful day. I don't know what the temp is, but it's warm enough where I can open up the window and let some of that fresh air come in. That's one thing I am definitely, there's people that keep their whole house, all the windows closed. I'm one of those people that as soon as it's warm enough outside, the windows are open, the screen door is on. And another thing I love about these door hangers is that they have the lines already etched in them. So when you paint it, it's just like painting a big, huge, like almost like just a coloring book. You just kind of paint, in the lines. You don't have to if you don't want to, but even if you paint over the lines, you can still see that etch through the paint. So even if you accidentally paint over the line and you have to go back and kind of clean up some lines, very easy to do. Kind of move this around so that way I'm not having my hand over wet paint, because I've done that before and I usually smear it, bump it, mess it up somehow. So I'm trying to be proactive, but I'm just going to use my brush and put on an even coat of black paint. These are fun because they have the lines, the etching in them, but because the wood is so smooth, paint goes on very, very, very easily. On that cross that I showed you on the He Lives, this was one coat of paint, which if I did this on a canvas, this would definitely be 2 coats. But see how even that paint goes on? It just gives you really, really good coverage. That's another reason why I like these so much, is because the paint just goes on real smooth and you don't have to worry about big lumps or things not going on evenly. I started off just doing canvas painting and actually just started doing these really cute wood projects probably about a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago. And then we've done some like Christmas ceramics, which have been real fun. Let me know if you guys are watching this, even if you're watching the replay, let me know if you would be interested in like Easter or spring ceramic projects. Because I have great relationships with some really, really fun ceramic companies. It's where around Christmas time, they had the real popular ceramic Christmas trees. There was the truck and tree, which was super popular. It was funny because I did a truck and tree, a camper, and then I think I had two of the ceramic Christmas trees, and we set it all up on this bench, so it almost looked like a little Christmas, not a village per se, because like I said, it was the trees and then the truck and the camper, but it was like a little vignette, I guess, or like a little scene. It was super cute. But I painted them as demos, just like I'm painting here, so you guys can kind of see what it looks like when it's painted and how easy it is. But then when I set it up and was going to take some pictures, I'm like, dang, that's actually pretty cute. So it was kind of funny how that turned out. But anyways, so around Christmas time, like I said, we had lots of fun painting ceramics. And so if you think it'd be fun to do either spring or Easter or summer ceramics, I can definitely see what kind of fun projects I can get my hands on. But I'm loving these door hangers. And once again, you don't have, I mean, just because they're called door hangers doesn't mean you have to hang them on a door. These are super cute on a mantle, on a little shelf. They are cute. We have, if you ever listen to me talk, we have a little, well, he's not little. He's a black lab mix, and he's about 40 to 45 pounds, which for us is a small dog, probably the smallest dog we've ever had. So he barely fits in a lap, but he, you know, if I fits, I sits. And so we joke with him, but so he's our little dog, but he, you know, we'll put him outside, and when he's ready to go back in, he'll pounce on the front door. And sometimes he pounces like, it sounds like an elephant trying to break down our front door. But so he has to ask nicely, so just little, you know, little tapping on the door. But because of that, and because we live where it's snow and then it thaws and then it's muddy and gross, there's all these little muddy paw prints. And it's one of those things like, okay, I could clean it, which it drives me nuts every time I see our front door with muddy puppy prints on it. But you know, I could clean it today and then tomorrow it's going to be just as muddy. So we'll wait until the ground isn't muddy. But anyways, all that to say, I would love to hang one of these on my front door, but I have a feeling my dog would probably pounce and it would fall off. So even though they're a door hanger, you don't have to hang them on a door. But they do look really, really cute. I mean, how cute would it be to walk up to somebody's house or have somebody walk up to your house and have this really pretty, you know, welcome sign with a bunch of cute little flowers on it. Perfect for spring. But if you haven't watched the live I did yesterday, I kind of showed you, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 designs, 6 or 7 new designs. One is that cross that I showed you guys, and then this is another one, this welcome sign. But I showed you what I have, and my goal is to go live every day and paint with you guys so you can kind of see what they look like painted. But I try really hard to be disciplined, and sometimes I forget, but I need to get on here and paint with you guys some more. I know it's so fun when you guys say, oh, I saw you paint that the other day, and I'm like, you did where? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did it on Facebook. So I love that you guys love to watch me paint. And it's kind of fun because sometimes you guys will jump on and chat with me and, you know, kind of catch up with what's going on too. So once again, I'm just putting on an even layer of black. I thought black would look kind of classy and really make the flowers just kind of pop. So there's the black. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry while I paint some of the other pieces. Now, if you order one of these kits, you can get just the door hanger, or you can get the door hanger, and it'll also come with paint and brushes. But if you want, you can very easily put little holes if you do want to hang it from a piece of wire, piece of cute ribbon. You can use a piece of like jute string, but you can just drill holes very easily. But also when it comes to attaching these 3D pieces, it's very easy just to do with wood glue, or if you're a crafter and you have like E6000 hot glue, super glue, any of those will work. So you don't need like a special, you know, expensive glue. So once again, let me know what you guys think about the welcome. I wasn't sure. I'm going to do the stripes teal. Do you think I should do the word teal as well, or should I do the word in white paint? So let me know, give me a little inspiration, but I'm going to start painting these cute flowers. Like I said, I think I'm going to do pink, and then like one yellow, one orange. Always shake your paint. Sometimes paint will get kind of thick and clumpy. especially metallics. If you ever use metallic paint, definitely give it a good shake. So I'll move this up a little bit. Can you guys see that okay? My little table's kind of tiny. I need to invest in a bigger table so that I'm not always knocking it. Yesterday I did a live, and because these pieces have the loose ones, I had them stuck together, and when I put one down, it slammed a little bit. And when I walked out of my room, Jeremy's like, "What did you drop?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's just me, just me making a mess." So I think maybe my next investment will be just a slightly larger art table, so that way I'm not like, let me scoot these over here and move this around over there. Hi, Lisa. How are you today? What's the weather like where you are? Like I said, we are having an absolutely gorgeous day today in Montana. Thursday is kind of mine and Jeremy's running around our errand day. So we went shopping, grocery shopping, and went and grabbed a quick bite to eat at a local restaurant we like. And he got his shot. I'm very proud of him today. He's got asthma, so he's in higher phase, I guess, than me. So he was able to go get his shot today. I know it's a very a lot of people have opinions, and I respect all of them, but just as far as us, like I said, he's got asthma, and I've seen him sick and struggle to breathe, so it's not something that I want to see again. Lisa says, loving the weather in New Mexico. It's gorgeous. Killed all my kids outside. Oh, kicked all your kids outside. I'm like, what did you do to your kids? Yeah, when the weather's nice, it's like, get off of your phone, get off the computer, go outside. I'll even sometimes go outside and paint, depending on if it's like really windy or something. Lisa said, I got my first shot. I have asthma too, so happy for it. Me, good girl. Like I said, I know it's a hot topic and everybody has their opinion and you're entitled to it. But just I've seen him really sick and, like I said, struggle to breathe, and that is something I don't ever want to see him, have to experience again. So thumbs up, he got a shot. Yay him. I'll be next in line though as soon as I'm able to. So once again, I'm doing this really pretty spring welcome sign. Ugh, paint's a little hard to open. Use my muscles. And I'm just using acrylic paint. So when you do yours, you don't have to get like special, paint, any like certain brand. I love a few brands of paint. Deco Art is probably one of my favorites, but also Blick, B-L-I-C-K. They have really good paint. And then what else do I like to use? Michael's brand, Artist Loft, is pretty good. So you don't have to get like a special paint. Oh, I got some dry paint boogers. Don't mind me. It's like, when parents, like, they're blowing the little kid's nose. Blow your nose. I feel like, okay, little boogers. Little paint boogers. But I am loving this warmer weather. I had a paint party last weekend, and it was so fun because as I was walking up the person's walkway, they had cute little, I think they're called crocus. Maybe, I don't know if I'm saying that correct, but they had these cute little blooms, these little flower bulbs poking up through the dirt. So I'm like, oh, spring is here. Seeing all the pretty little flowers bloom, and the days are longer and it's a little warmer. But that also means I have to start shaving my legs more often. So too much information. But yeah, when summer's here, I start wearing shorts and don't want to be mistaken for Sasquatch, so got to start shaving my legs more often. Please don't judge me. What else, if you're watching live or even if you're catching the replay, what are you guys up to today? Or we're getting closer to the weekend, one day away from pre-weekend. All right, so I'm going to let those dry just a little bit, and then I'm going to do these guys pink, and then I will do the leaves green. Let me know what you think. Lisa says you too, I know. Huh? So I know this is kind of hard to see. I don't know if you guys were watching from the beginning, but here is our background, and then the word welcome will be in the middle. I'm going to paint these two lines like a teal color. Do you think I should paint the welcome teal to match the lines, or do you think I should paint the welcome white? So let me know. Hi, Sandra. How are you? My other friend, you were on here yesterday, girl. Girl, are you stalking me? Just kidding. You can stalk me anytime you want. I love it when you guys jump on here and say hey. Because like I said, even though it's you guys are typing and I'm talking, it's so fun to kind of still catch up and see what's new with everybody, what's going on in the world. So like I said, ooh, my little earbud's falling out. Sorry, guys. I second. I got these new little earbuds and they're awesome, but I don't know if my ears just not big enough. Little suckers pop out all the time. All right. So Sandra says guilty of stalking me. You stalker girl, you can stalk me anytime. So this is kind of a weird story. We back in California, we had, so I'm sure you guys know because I talk about it all the time, but I live in Montana now, but I'm originally from California, and that's actually where I know Sandra from. But back in California, we had a little ranch and had chickens. I mean, it was just it was a hobby, but we had horses and chickens and goats and our dogs. I think those were all the critters we had. Or, yeah. And we would let our chickens just run in the yard, and we had this one chicken, and she would always come up because we had a front sliding glass door and a back sliding glass door. She would always come up to the window and just like burr, burr, like, what are you guys doing in there? So we would call her our stalker chicken. So long story for something not that interesting, but we would always joke that she was our stalker chicken because she would always, I don't know if she could like see her reflection and she thought that like that was neat, or she actually saw us, but it was always funny because like you'd be just coming around the corner and you'd like look at the door and you'd see this chicken. So Lisa says love teal and black and white as a color combo. Me too. So do you think I should do the word welcome in white? Oopsie, there we go. I actually, because I can, if you paint it in white and you don't like it, you could always paint it. I can always paint teal on top. So, I mean, I could also go the other direction too, but white is the easiest color to cover up. So I always tell people if you're unsure, start with white. And then if you don't like it, you could always paint it, you know, teal or whatever else. But see, as this dries, see how you can still see the etching through the paint. So like I said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to go back over those lines with a little bit of black just to kind of outline it a little bit. But when you're doing these, you don't have to worry about that at all because you just paint the base color. Like I said, it's just like an adult coloring book. Come in here and paint whatever colors you want. And then once that dries, you can still see the etched lines and go back and outline them if you want. I know this sounds silly, but when I first saw these that had the etched line, I was like, oh my gosh, like, not that it was like life-changing because that's a little melodramatic, but it was a big deal. It's a big deal to this art girl. All right, so pink, orange, yellow. My little cups, I've been keeping paint in these little shot cups with the lids because it'll last a really long time in these. But the other day I went to open my window and I had two of the larger cups. These are like 2 ounces. One was full of black paint, one was full of white paint. And I think when I did something and they fell, and it was almost like it was like, you know, those people that do the art where they splatter. It was kind of cool because they like splattered in a perfect X, but I was like, like, so I have wet white paint and wet black paint all over my carpet. So yeah, I said a couple bad words. Sorry, Dad. But I have learned to keep the lid on when I'm not using them. All right, I'm gonna use a little bit of green for the leaves. And this is a really pretty, like almost like a mint green. I think it's a real soft, pretty pastel green. But you could just, so most people are like, oh, what if I don't have that exact green? I could take any like grass green, any primary green, and you add a little white paint and you get this really pretty pastel green. So it doesn't have to be like an exact brand or an exact color. That's one thing that I have definitely improved my skill on since I've been teaching paint parties is color mixing. Because when I was back in California and back when I was working with Miss Sandra, that's how we became friends. I worked with a company and we could only take to our our paint parties, yellow, red, blue, black, and white. So primary colors, and if you're not an art nerd like me, that just means that from those 3 colors you can mix secondary colors. So from red, blue, and red, blue, and yellow, brain fart, you can mix green, orange, and purple. by mixing those together. So I would supply 3 colors primary, and if we had any of the other colors, we had to mix it. So I became very, very good at mixing colors and color matching just because I did it time and time again. Lisa says, "Oh no, you should try Dawn vinegar peroxide to remove it." Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, well, this is the thing though. This is my art room. It's just a spare room in our house. But that is not the first time I've spilled paint on the carpet, and it will not be the last. So the carpet that's in here, if we ever, sell or whatever, I'll just replace the carpet. It's just gonna be the carpet in my art room until we do something different. So thank you for for the advice, but it's kind of a lost cause at this point. I mean, I did clean it up a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of like if you had kids and they have a playroom, you just know that flooring's always going to be a nightmare. So it just goes along with the territory. But thank you for that tip. I often get paint in my clothes. So like I'll get a new, like this is just a hoodie, but I'll get a cute top and then I'll go plunk and put my arm in paint or flick it on myself or do something. So I will have to remember that that little trick. I know that you can use rubbing alcohol to get paint out, but it's really harsh on your clothes. So like I had some dark wash jeans and I spilled some, it was like bright red. So it looked like I had been like part of a murder scene or something. I looked horrible. But anyways, I came home and I used rubbing alcohol and it got most of it out, but it actually lifted some of the dark stain of my jeans as well. So anyways, I don't know why I'm telling you the story, but thank you for that. That's probably would work a lot better than my remedy. So coming in here with a little bit, I really like this green. It's pretty. Perfect for spring. But I mean, you could do this any color scheme. And that's the other thing that's fun is like whatever your house is decorated in, you could do this to match your house, perfectly. Okay. I'm going to let those dry and I will come back, like I said, and paint over. So if you see how these are, see how like it's just the etching. This was the exact same. If you didn't see me paint this yesterday, you can go back and watch. But this flower right here, since you can see the etching still, I went back and I just used a little bit of black paint and a thin paintbrush and went over it. But you can also use a permanent marker like a Sharpie. Hi, Bobby. How are you? Glad I'm painting up a storm. Girl, I know. It's so funny. It's one of those things like I will always make art, even if it's Crayola crayons and a coloring book. But it's one of those things like I put it off and I put it off. And then it's like when I am here having fun and chatting with you guys and just enjoying myself. For me, it's like it's therapy. It's stress relief. But I'm like, why don't I do this every day? So little accountability for me to you that I will be painting every day unless like something crazy happens until I paint all the samples. All right, so I'm going to come in here with some teal and grab a paintbrush. All right, this is one of my favorite colors. It's a teal color, but it's a real like tropical. I don't know how to describe it. It's pretty. Just coming in here. And if you're worried about painting a straight line, you could always use a little bit of painter's tape or like masking tape. But honestly, with the etched lines, it's very forgiving. And also at the end of the day, I'm staring at this, literally a few inches from my face. But when I hang this up on a wall or if it's on, a shelf or, something across the room, you won't notice all the little inconsistencies. That's one of my biggest kind of tricks. That's not really a trick, but I'll be at a paint party and someone's like, "Oh, my lines are messed up," or "This looks horrible." And so I'll take their painting away from them and, walk 8 or 10 feet away and then turn around and hold it up to them and they go, "Oh, that doesn't look so bad." I'm like, "See, I told you." Told you so. I've done this enough to where I know a lot of tricks. I am the luckiest person because I get to do what I love, share something that is so fun. I know some people get stressed out about art, but I try really, really hard to make it lighthearted so that way they kind of take the pressure off of themselves. And then when they take that pressure off themselves, they relax and have fun. And then 9 times out of 10, impress themselves with what they paint. And I always tell people, because we are super critical. I mean, a lot of people, maybe they didn't even take art in high school, But, you know, there's some people that they haven't done anything artistic for 10, 15, you know, plus years. And then they expect that they're going to come to an art class, and if their painting isn't exactly like the teachers, you know, that they've epically failed. And that's nowhere close to what art is about. You know, one of my little sayings is, if they were all meant to be the same, they'd be a photograph, and that's boring. Like, well, no offense, photographers. You know, but you know, the fun thing about art is all the little personality touches that you know, we add as artists. And I always kind of say everybody almost kind of has like their own artistic handwriting or signature, which sounds silly. And all I mean by that is that, you know, maybe my artistic natural tendency is to have very straight lines and crisp details, and somebody else can have like a very loose, soft kind of style of painting and not realize it. So we all kind of have our own natural styles, no matter how technically skilled you are as an artist. And it's kind of fun to see all those different, you know, ideas come out. It's kind of like fashion, you know, we all wear clothes. Now, whether you wear yoga pants and hoodies, or you know, wear a 3-piece suit, or you wear, you know, heels and pearls, you know, we all wear clothes, but it just depends on how you want to, you know, what fashion you want to have. I'm not a very fashionable person. I try like to do fun stuff. Like yesterday, I was wearing a kind of fun, funky hat. So I like to try new things, but I'm not like one of those people that is like high fashion. I'm like jeans, baseball hat. I'm good. All right. And even you'll see my lines aren't perfect, but I can always come back and clean them up. Doesn't have to be perfect the first time. That's the other thing, is people get like all stressed out. Oh my gosh, I wrecked it. Paint, for the most part, is very forgiving. Like, especially what I'm using is acrylic paint. But if you're using acrylic paint on something, and let's say you paint something, you're like, oh dang it. Like, let's say, I don't know, there's part of this that I painted the wrong color. If you let it dry, you can paint right on top of it and cover it up. I mean, granted, if you're trying to paint like cover up black or red or a really dark color, it might be harder. You might need more layers, but like, you can just paint right on top of it and cover it up. Nobody will ever know. That looks so pretty. I love this color here. We'll kind of start to build it, and you can let me know what you think. Like I said, I have these really fun. Oh, dang it! You guys see like a burp right there. Can't do anything without getting paint all over it. Get this scooted over a little bit, but so I just thought the black was. Oh, it's supposed to go the other way. I think this one section is just a little bit bigger, and then that's where the 3 flowers go. Yeah, that gets a little bit better. So how pretty is that so far? And then the little one up here, maybe like that, and then right there. Sandra says, yes, I'm an overthinker, and I'm not pushing booze on people like alcohol. But truly, for those of us that are type A, want everything perfect, we're the perfectionists. If you have a glass of wine or a beer, it helps. Like, it just takes those, you know, very analytical, critical voices just down a notch. I think I am going to do this white, the welcome, a white welcome. So if you're an overthinker like Sandra and I, like I said, I'm not trying to suggest drinking as a way to you know, not be a, you know, worry wart, but maybe just a little glass of Chardonnay or something helps. It's funny, here in Missoula, they opened up a Winco, which if you don't have one of those in your area, it's a grocery store. But I mean, it's like highly discounted, so it's, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Economical. There's a good word for you. Sandra says it does help. Wine helps you forget what the problem was. But anyway, so here they open a Winco. Oh man, you guys. I guess I have wine on the brain, literally. We used to shop at Winco back in California, so when they opened one up here, we were super excited. Main reason why we love it is because they have an awesome bulk section. Jeremy and I both like to cook. He's more of the cook than I am, but you know, like when you see a cool recipe and you want to try it, but let's say it has like saffron or turmeric or something that you don't normally cook with, I'm not going to go on there and, you know, spend $35 in ingredients that I may not even like the way that the recipe tastes. So all that to say, we really like their bulk section because, You can get just the amount that you need and you're not paying for extra. So all that to say, when we were there, we did pick up a couple bottles of wine. So it's a little early in the day, but I might enjoy a glass this evening. Sandra's come out to visit me in Montana, and we painted the town. I don't know if we painted the town red, maybe like a light pink, but we went to a couple breweries and a cidery. What's a cider brewery, winery? What's a place that serves cider? If you know, tell me. But we had fun, and hopefully you can come out and visit again. Bring Beth this time. Those are my girls. We used to teach paint parties together, so all kinds of shenanigans went down at those paint parties. I am a lucky, lucky person to be able to do what I do, but also to meet the people that I meet. I jokingly say this, but there's a lot of truth in it. Yes, Sandra said we had a blast. People that go to paint parties or, kind of, just enjoy that artistic outlet, I guess, even if it's painting or crafting or baking, whatever. I think people like that are a little more outgoing, a little more, I don't want to say lively, but they're the people that enjoy life for the most part. Very seldom do you, oops, a little earbud, sorry. Just okay, Sandra, word. Get your butt out here, come visit. But people that go to paint parties or people, like I said, that enjoy artistic things for the most part, they're my kind of people. They're outgoing, they enjoy life. Hey, Lisa, you can come visit Montana too, girl. It is beautiful. So Jeremy and I actually came out here just on vacation and literally fell in love and moved here a year later. So be careful if you don't like snow, you may not want to visit because you may fall in love and then just never want to leave. That's what happened with us. But it is gorgeous here. And people say, so if you are familiar with the show Yellowstone, with Kevin Costner, they do a lot of filming actually in kind of my neighborhood, my neck of the woods. And people go, oh my gosh, does it look like, that show? Or if you've seen any shows about Montana, and I tell people it's prettier than that. Like those pictures don't do it justice. So whatever you think it is, amplify it. And that's what Montana really looks like. It's so beautiful here. It's actually funny. The company that I get these from, the owner, he and I have kind of become good friends, and he and his family came out here on vacation. So if you know where Glacier National Park is, I'm south of Glacier, and he and his family, so he's familiar with this area. And every time I talk to him on the phone, he goes, I need to come visit you. And I'm like, jump on a plane, come visit. It's beautiful here. Lisa says we are military, so we may end up there at some point. Yeah, there is. I'm pretty sure. I'm newer to Montana. We've lived out here for 4 years, so I'm still learning. So I don't know 100%, but I'm pretty sure that there's a base in Great Falls, which is, I think, like 3.5 hours from me. Montana is a very big state, but not a lot of people, which is another reason why we like it here. We like our space. I'm not antisocial, but definitely I like my neighbors a little, a little on the other side of the fence. And even I say that, but we once again love living here and have amazing, amazing neighbors. We have one neighbor that he has a tractor, and in the summertime, because we're on 5 acres, and forest fires are a real big threat out here, and so we just have to always be mindful. And so since we don't have any like livestock or anything to eat the grass down, when it gets to be about a foot and a half, he'll come in and mow our back pasture. And then in the summertime, the wintertime when there's a bunch of snow, he'll come with his tractor and he plows our driveway and plows the road in front of our house. He does it for about 3 or 4 neighbors, but just genuinely nice. Like you don't encounter people like that very often, especially in today's day and age. Everybody's got an ulterior motive, or it's sad even when you're driving and you see somebody broken down and you're like, I would love to stop and help, but you can't even feel safe doing that. But here in Montana, I'm not saying that everybody here's that way, because there's bad apples wherever you go, but for the most part, people here are just genuinely nice, kind-hearted, willing to help out. So do I sound like a commercial? Come visit Montana, you'll love it. All right, so here's my welcome. Once again, put the lid on the paint. Don't spill the paint, Julie. And this is still super wet, so I would usually wait a little more before I started putting this all together, but I want you guys to see kind of what it looks like. Lift this up so you guys can see. No, this way. There we go. And then a cute welcome sign in the middle. It's not cute. I don't know why, but I'm getting very like Day of the Dead, bright, I don't know, bright colors. I love it. I'm going to do a little bit of the flower outlining. Then I'm going to probably call it a day and let this dry a little bit, and then I can always go back and add some. Just a little bit of black paint. And when it comes to doing these thin lines like this or any detail, one little trick is if your paint is thick and clumpy, mix a little tiny bit of water in with it, and that'll help just make it a little thinner, almost like ink. I'm not saying like make your, oh, my hair's, ooh, what is my hair doing, you guys? Ooh. There we go. Sometimes I'll like do something, I'm like, oh, what is that? But if it just helps the paint flow, and this was something I was also talking about yesterday, a lot of times if the paint is dry, I will use my finger, almost, I say kind of like a kickstand, but it just kind of helps steady your hand. But if you're, like I said, if your paint is thick and clumping, it's just not flowing, it's just not smooth, add just a tiny bit of water, not enough to make it like soupy, but just enough to where it flows. Not soupy, but inky. And it's fun because what I did with the other one, and I'll probably do it with this one too, is I go back and I follow the etching with black, but then I go in with some white and add some more like detailing. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a minute. All right, so see how that black is, and then what I'm going to probably do is see with the cross, see how I added the white, and then I also added like some of the dots in there, and then I added the rose gold. Oh, that metallic, I love it. So pretty. So you can add multiple layers to these flowers too. And one thing I was thinking about yesterday that I think would be really pretty is if you do like, I know some people have those wooden flowers. I think they're called Sola, something like that. Sola, I believe. Anyways, but you could get some really, or if you can make like paper flowers are really easy to do. But you could even put a flower on top of this, or even like a fake flower. Oh, thank you, Lisa. That one was really, really fun to do. I painted that one yesterday. I have links to order these, and I, shame on me for being a bad business owner and not posting those. I'll post them once I'm done with this, or if you want, just send me a message and I can send them to you. But I am having so much fun doing these, and because I have some amazing friends like you guys that don't live in Montana, I'm always trying to find ways that you guys can paint the same project. So these, the option to have them, they call it drop ship, and all that means is just you order and it'll be mailed directly to your door. So you'd get the same wood kit that I have, and then you can either get it just by itself, or you can get it with paintbrushes and paints. So if you're like me and you have a whole huge stash of brushes and paints and don't need them, you don't have to order them. But that's kind of the fun thing, is it's shipped directly to your door. I love painting in person, and I'm so thankful that it seems, cross our fingers, that things are starting to get better on the, being open, being closed, being restricted on where you can go and how many people can be there. I think that that's finally changing just a little bit. I don't want to get too excited, but like I said, Jeremy got his vaccine today. Oh, Sandra, I don't know if you know that or not, but Jeremy got his shot today. I was joking. I'm like, get your, vaccine and your rabies. Actually, our poor puppy, he has his appointment next week to get his rabies shot. So Jeremy got his vaccine, and Jack will be getting his rabies. And then as soon as I'm able to, I'll go get mine. But anyways, all that to say, I think it just kind of feels like there's hope on, in the very near future that we can start getting back together and hanging out and doing paint parties in person. But in the meantime, or if you don't live close, you can always order an art kit. I'm just going to paint this one in my hand. I know with my luck, I will knock something over. So once again, I will go back and add some extra details when I jump on here and paint with you guys tomorrow. I'll show you what the finished look of this is. I'm going to go back and add, like I said, some white highlights, and knowing me, I'll probably end up adding some metallic paint somewhere or some glitter somewhere. I love glitter. But like I said, this step right here, you could very easily do with just a black permanent marker. I actually have a whole stash of Sharpie pens that I take to my paint parties. So I can tell people, if you were stressed out about doing the outline, just use a pen. Nobody will know. My paint is getting a little thick and clumpy, so I should probably do the trick that I just told you guys about doing, thinning it out just a little bit. What I'm using, like I said, is acrylic paint, and acrylic paint is water-based, which means that you can mix it with water. So if you want to thin it out a little bit, just add, just a tiny bit at a time and mix it in, and, mix it for the consistency that works for you. Kind of show you what a couple of these cute little extras. And some little extra lines. But like I said, the one thing I like a lot of things about these, I shouldn't say the one thing I like about these, but all of this has been with one coat of paint. So one coat of teal, one coat of white, one coat of the colors, and I'm just using, I'm using a couple different ones, but I mean, this is just deco art. I mean, you can get these from Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's. I don't even know if Walmart sells them, but they're not, fancy specific paints. You could do this with whatever you have in your craft room, or if your kids have some craft paint. But how stinking cute is that? Like I said, I'm going to come in here and clean up some of the lines and add some extra details. But that is an example of the welcome sign. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a thumbs up, a little heart, thumbs down. Tell me it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. I'm just kidding. But I think it's super cute. So here is the welcome sign. And then once again, just another example. The cross. I love the little dots. I love dots and stripes. So I might add some polka dots or something to here. But, or actually, it'd be really cute is if I add some like little viney loopy lines. But I'm going to get off of here and go spend some quality time with my hubby. Like I said, we went grocery shopping this morning. How romantic is that? But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Hopefully it's sunny where you are and you can enjoy some vitamin D, soak up some of that sun, or maybe do a little painting. We'll talk to you guys later.